Fridolin Alexander was born on March 25, 1945, to Fridolin and Clara Grandad. He was the eldest of 9. In 1955, when Dad was 10, the family moved to Mangatoki. Dad recalls moving day. He drove the tractor, pulling a trailer loaded with farm implements, with Grandad sitting on the small edge on the back of the trailer, holding the horse's reins. It took Dad some time to adjust the speed of the tractor to the horses. The trip took them 2 days. In 1959, the Grandads moved to Eltham. Dad was turning 14. Fred bought the cheapest farm in the district, 200 acres of Nairi swamp. Only 60 acres were suitable for farming. The rest was covered in silver birch tree stumps. Mum distinctly recalls her father saying, "Fred was mad buying that farm." It was quite the talk of the Swiss community at the time. The farm was guaranteed hard work for the Grandads. Countless times a tractor was buried up to its axles and had to be dug out. Alex even resorted to tying large posts to the outside of the wheels, putting the tractor in low gear and driving forward so the tractor could lift itself out of the mud hole. After several years of courting Rose Lawand, she finally stopped playing hard to get. Dad drove her to Wanganui and they bought an engagement ring. Mum and Dad were married on June 17, 1967. Even when my parents moved to New Plymouth in 2006, they were there, firstly helping Paul through calving season, then later Mark with silage, and of course anything to do with the digger. Right into his late 70s, he was always there helping the next generation. Farming life was a big part of who Dad was.
Grandad, you had many names throughout your lifetime. First there was Fridolin, then there was Alex, or as Nana would say, Alec. Then came Dad, and later on followed by Pappy. You're a smart, kind and caring man, a bit of a storyteller too. You love cheese and butter and never turned away a good donut. You have lived an amazing life. You bought your first farm at a young age and have worked extremely hard to get where you are now. You even travelled the world with Nana for many great years and shared so many beautiful memories together. But that all started when you left school at 14 years old and started working alongside your own dad on the family farm, and then you continued on working alongside with your own sons years later. I left school at 14 too, funny enough, and I started stumping paddocks and digging metal and clay alongside you and Dad. You taught and showed me a lot on the farm throughout the next few years, right down to what to do and what not to do. I can remember there was this one time when you and I were at the runoff with the tractor and digger, and it was early morning and the dew was still on the ground. We didn't think too much of it, and you filled that trailer to the top with metal. You then gave me the thumbs up and sent me down the steep grass slope towards the river. Being quite young at the time, I put my foot down, and next minute, I'm jackknifing all the way down the hill, heading right for the river. You watched the entire thing happen and quickly jumped in your Suzuki and followed right down after me. I came just short of the bridge with the trailer jammed under my back wheels. You then jumped out and ran over to me and handed me this rag, and you say to me, "Do you need this to clean your undies, or can I use it?" You have always been there to lend a helping hand no matter what. Even in the last few years, it was getting a little hard for you to get in and out of the digger, so Dad welded a step on the side of the track for you to make it easier. That made you smile and share a laugh with Dad. Secretly, I think Denzel and I knew that Dad did it for himself too. You showed me how to load the tractors and the trailers up with clay and how to do all the fine details that you were so good at. But there's been a few times where you were getting frustrated at me, and there was some hand actions and words that I could lip read from in the tractor that I'm not going to repeat. But now fast forward 10 years later, and it's me doing the hand waves and words mixed with a laugh from inside the chopper cab while I'm filling you up during silage season. Maybe I get that from you. Life's too short, and all these moments and memories are ones I'll never forget. Because at the end of the day, I was working alongside my granddad and family on the same family farm you were so passionate about. With that, I know nothing is ever going to be the same again. but I do know that you will always be sitting right next to me sharing that digger seat. Thank you for everything we've done together in this lifetime and how you have impacted and shaped future generations down the line.
Thank you all for being here today to honour and farewell my humble, loving and hard-working granddad. I believe everyone here can testify that no matter what, you could always count on Grandad to lend a hand or give you the shirt off his back. It's hard to truly describe the gratitude I have for Grandad. He is the cornerstone for our family, and without his life of hard work and dedication to his farm, I probably wouldn't have the life I have today. I wake up privileged every day that I can live and work alongside my family on soil that spans 4 generations. I'm going to miss him coming down when digger work needed to be done or when silage was ready to harvest. He would make me laugh, watching him fluff around with the digger, making sure where his tracks were about to go were as level as a pool table, or getting me to move forward half a metre in the trailer to make loading it a little bit more stable. I only laugh because I do exactly the same thing now, after both of us having little mishaps in the digger. I think it's pretty clear that some strong traits are handed down to his son and ultimately onto me too. We all share the love of working the land with the right coloured tractor, I might add. We all love the challenge of doing everything ourselves, from doing all our own harvesting to contouring the land and making our own machinery. Grandad was a man that never backed down from a challenge, and for that I couldn't thank him enough. Whether I see him again in this life or the next, I'm sure he'll be there, making sure the drains are dug straight, the tractors stay blue, and the grass stays green. Once again, thank you, Grandad.
Dear Grandad, thank you for all the fun times we spent with you and Nana going for bike rides along the walkway, where you'd always stay at the back with me because they were all too fast. But also probably because I'd only just learned how to ride a bike at 8 years old, almost got hit by a car going down the hill, crashed into the rocks, all because I didn't know how to use my brakes. You and Nana were very scared to tell Mum that day. All the time my old boyfriend and I went round to catch up with you guys while we were waiting on our dinner reservation. And we all know what Nana's like, can't pass up on a luncheon as she calls it. So long story short, Nana said, "Come on Alec, get your shoes on, let's go." So off we all went. It wasn't Nana's type of restaurant with scallops and salad and so on. It was an American style diner with burgers and all deep fried food. So Grandad sure made the most of that feed. It was one of the best double dates I've ever had. We laughed all night long. All the time Dell and I went on holiday in the camper, and you and I snuck onto the hydro slide and didn't realise we had to pay, but we carried on anyway till they caught on to us. To our hour-long competitive Rummy Cup games with the family at the beach every New Year's, and spending happy hour with you and your motorhome family. Going bowling and thinking we would show you both up, but you showed us how it was done. We definitely seen where our competitiveness came from, but we loved every second of it. I've had the privilege of spending 24 years with you. And I'm incredibly lucky that Skylar and Riker got to meet their great granddad and form a special bond with you that I will cherish forever. And have so many videos and photos of you with them that I can show them what a hard-working, kind, loving, proud granddad you were to us all. Thank you for every memory, every lesson, every laugh, and every ounce of love. Until we meet again, I'll miss and love you always, Granddad.
Quiet confidence and trusting every step. And we know that our faith will get us through. It's so obvious, forever calling us. And this time we won't wait and wonder anymore. When the morning breaks, we won't hesitate. It's the first day, it's the first page. Our story starts here. Our story starts here. Before our eyes, now we find it all becomes so clear. Our story starts here. Constant faith in the words we say.
a few words on behalf of Nana Rose. I first heard of the Grandad boys when I was 10 at the Swiss picnics. Alec and I became good friends at around age 16. His blue eyes and blonde curls caught my eye, and we got together when I was 19. Romance blossomed and things got serious. Our adventures started together early on in our relationship as we climbed Mount Taranaki with the Young Farmers Club. I enjoyed my life with Alec. It was always eventful on the dairy farm, juggling milking cows, gardening and raising 3 kids. Soon after we were married, Alec started indoor bowls, which he very much enjoyed. Alec also participated in outdoor bowls and was part of the Eltham Bowling Club for 12 years, which he enjoyed as well. Our adventures continued later in life. Alec and I travelled around 4 continents and 25 countries, often alongside friends and family. We started small with our first trip overseas to Sydney, Australia. Then we were off to Fiji and then to Noumea, New Caledonia when we won a trip. We went on 5 trips to Switzerland with stopovers in Los Angeles, Singapore and Hong Kong. We went on a big trip through Europe lasting 21 days in 1998. Then we did a river cruise through Russia from St. Petersburg to Moscow. We then went on to Scandinavia and toured those countries too. We travelled the Inside Passage before we hired motorhomes in Canada with 6 other couples and toured the country for 32 days. We then travelled from Vancouver to Seattle and ferried back to Butchart's Gardens on Vancouver Island, Canada. We travelled from Paris to Prague by busing from Paris to Amsterdam, then boarding a cruise ship, heading to Budapest via the Danube River, and then busing to Prague. We went to Ireland and England. We went to China for 27 days. We flew into Beijing and out of Shanghai. We did 3 trips in motorhomes around Australia. The first trip was 56 days from Melbourne to Port Douglas. The second trip was around Tasmania for 2 weeks. And the third trip was a very special trip. We travelled from Adelaide through the centre to Darwin and then followed the coast down to Perth. We then travelled through the centre to Kalgoorlie and then drove the Nullarbor Plain. A whopping total of 57 days and 14,700 kilometres later, it was definitely one to remember. We travelled New Zealand too. We've been right to the top of the North Island at Cape Reinga and right to the bottom of the South Island, Bluff, and across to Stewart Island too. For the last decade, we spent 3 weeks in November every year fishing in Papa Araha and Coromandel. Alec and I began 10-pin bowling 55 plus. We went to 2 national tournaments. The first one, Alec placed first in the Mystery Pairs. We purchased the whitebait stand around 4 years ago. We had a very social time whitebaiting with lots of happy hours. Alec was easy to get along with. A placid guy, very hardworking and always willing to help others. Rarely did he get angry, and he always went with the flow. He enjoyed his card games, happy hours, country music, and of course yodeling. I would like to thank Deborah, Paul and Mark for helping Dad and I get to the position we are today. They were always willing to help and never answered back. When it came to the final stages, they were there to support day and night. Also, thank you to their families who supported them so they could be there supporting their dad. Alec, we have had a lot of great memories together, which I will hold close to my heart. I hope our adventures continue when we meet again. Bye for now. Love you heaps.
See ya!